Well, would you look at that? We have another expert locomotive that I am a little bit late to getting a video out on. I did wait for a sale on this one since they are quite pricey, and I was pretty impressed by the Expert 101, but more impressed by the Expert 145. Well, judging by gameplay and documents and stuff like that. This is my first time playing it. I'm going to a blind as usual, so I'm just gonna get straight to the video. So that's interesting. So it actually gives us some pretty important information here. It seems like it's Raildriver compatible. Seems to be
Please
working.
configure the signal lights as headlights for this cab to let others know this train is operational.
The engine room is modeled, very nice to see. Looks pretty similar to the 101, but that's probably just how it is in real life. Oh, the windows fog. That's a very cool detail. That was also on the 101, but nice to see it here too.
Looks like it's a bit cold outside and the windshield fogged up.
I wish it was cold
Enable the
outside in
windshield
real
heating
life.
as indicated.
Still an extreme heat wave in real life. Looks all clear to me. I don't know why I'm still waiting a moment. One thing that definitely appealed to me about this...
Release your brakes
Ooh,
now and apply some
can
power
hit
to
the
drive
wheel.
over to the small freight train we have prepared for you.
One thing that definitely appeals to me for this locomotive, okay, the independent controls AFB. One thing that appeals to me about the Expert 145 over the 101 is the fact that it's compatible with pretty much every route in the game, unlike the Expert 101, which needs its own dedicated timetables. Alright. So far, Raildriver's working very nicely with it. And I also like how it's a new locomotive, too. Why is it in decouple mode? Put back. I mean, it's obviously very similar to some other stuff we have, but it is slightly different, which is nice. And it also comes with passenger and freight variants, so seems like just in general a lot more appealing.
By applying some braking, so you slowly roll up to the fast wagon's buffers.
I feel like the volume of the safety systems could be a bit louder. And also, if I remember correctly, it also said that you can change some stuff to English too, so at least I don't need to learn a whole new language just to drive the train. I also got the realistic coupling too, kind of like Derail Valley, which I will definitely be making more videos with my hardcore series. I don't know why it keeps decoupling. That's kind of annoying. Whatever.
Before exiting the loco to couple, we need to make sure the loco is secured. Apply the direct brake and also turn off the signal lights on this end.
When making electrical, you must... Ooh, that's interesting. Alright. Oh, gotta turn those off. The buttons sound very realistic. You can really hear like the way they snap. Okay, that's back to normal.
You'll now enter the so-called burn rectangle. Duck under the buffers to reach it.
Climb under. There we go.
Now, regarding coupling correctly, there exists a set order of operations. First, you take care of the screw coupler. Go pick up the coupler of the wagon.
Alright.
Now, tighten the screw all the way.
Definitely getting used to these screw link couplers.
Next up are the air hoses. Please pick up one of the glad hands now and connect them.
A lot more air hoses and Derail Valley. Alright.
Last but not
Over
least,
there.
open both angle cocks associated to the hoses you just connected. Good job! If you need to uncouple, simply undo these steps in reverse order.
Of course, I don't know which hose is for which. But we'll probably get into that later. Definitely impressive detail, that's for sure. Different breakers and whatnot. Interesting how they use oil pumps on the electric locomotive. I think if I remember correctly, it's for wheel lubrication. Or it's for cooling. One of the two.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright. Okay. I can just do it from my rail driver. There we go.
Every time the air pipes get reconfigured in any way, for example, by moving an angle cock or by coupling and uncoupling, and also after an overcharged brake was released using the distributor release handle, a full brake test is required. You can learn to do one yourself in the Freight Train Preparations training module. For now, I will take care of it for you.
Alright, guess we'll be doing that a little bit later.
Brakes checked and operational. Let's drive for a short bit.
Alright.
Because freight trains are usually long enough to have a significant pressure gradient down the brake pipe, you must overcharge the brake pipe to 5.3 bars every time before departing to ensure all brakes release.
Are all our switches set? Looks like they are. Kind of annoying how the electric brake keeps decoupling. Oh, I think, is it because,
Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe.
I don't know what's going on. Why is the train slowing down? Alright, I guess applying throttle decouples it. I think that's just how the rail driver works, not how the actual locomotive does. I like that blue,
145
the
is
blue
part of the
RBH design.
Trans-Option family. It's regarded as the predecessor to the successful Bombardier Trax family. 103 units were built between 1997 and 2002. 20 locomotives were equipped with a package for passenger operations in the year 2000. Due to a modified powertrain, the passenger variant was allowed a top speed of 160 km an hour, that's 99 miles an hour, but today the entire fleet is limited to the same 140 km an hour, 87 miles an hour, as
That's
the
interesting.
non-passenger variant.
Good to know it's slightly slower. Not sure why they decided to slow it down. Be interesting to know. Yeah, I like how you can tap the wheel. I think that's like the feature where you can knock the ice off.
Sifa.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have to do a run in some cold weather to experience that.
Türfreigabe.
And because I'm already sick of the heat in real life summer. Alright. Bring it to a stop.
Sifa.
Good work. That concludes all
And the
the basics of
dynamic
operating this
decoupled
locomotive.
again.
Welcome to the driver training on the BR-145
Why is it all
Expert.
blurry?
In this training module,
There we go.
we will be going through the process of starting the loco from a parked and powered off state. This is referred to as a V1. As we are trying to reduce our paper usage, the written checklist is only available as a PDF file in the BR-145 Expert manual available online. You can of course always
Ooh,
print it
that's
out
cool.
on your own if you want to. Before entering the cab, conduct a few simple visual checks. First, look if overhead electrification is present above the pantographs.
Yes, it is indeed.
Now, walk up to the loco and check if at least one of the exterior brake status indicators shows red with a black dot. This indicates an applied brake. Start the battery now, and while the loco is powering up, check if various switches are in the indicated default position.
Yes, they are. Wait. Off.
Please sit down in
And
the
off.
driver's seat and activate the cab. Insert the reverser key and move the reverser into the forward position. Next up, ensure the parking brake is applied properly. A properly applied parking brake is indicated by the parking brake apply switch lighting up. This only works if the pneumatic brakes are released.
What's
In
going
other
on?
words, if the seat pressure is low enough. Please release the pneumatic brakes now.
Why is it in this menu? Ooh, did I open something? Alright, wait, so... Yeah, I still can't figure out how to get in English, but I'll figure that out later.
Now,
Yes,
we
it's
check
like...
the loco from front to back. Starting in the machine room and ending in the second cab confirm all circuit breakers, isolation switches and valves are in their default position.
Alright. Going through the full process here. Alright, make sure those are all enabled. Just making me look at random stuff. Alright, I believe everything is in order.
The loco is now ready to connect to the 15 kilovolts overhead line. Return to the first cab for that.
Alright. Oh, I have to hold it closed.
Now, we need to conduct one of the many types of brake-related tests that exist in German railways. This one is a brake system preparation, bremstechnische Vorbereitungsarbeiten. Follow the instructions on screen.
Definitely very detailed looking. I guess some of the lights may be a little blurry, but still looks very good. Alright, the brakes are indeed applied. The brakes are still applied. Brakes are I don't know what's going on now. I'm gonna hit the wheels again, that's fun. So many, like, switches and whatnot outside. Probably shouldn't touch those. Yeesh, what is taking so long? Wait, do I have to press this again? There we go. Doesn't seem to be increasing very much. Why that?
Please now test the safety systems. Start by initiating a PZB LZB test via the left-hand MTD screen. In case the MTD has failed, a backup hardkey exists below the indicator rows directly in front of you.
At least there are physical buttons you can push. That's something they actually understand. Takes a bit of a while, a cold start. Just going through all the necessary procedures. How many times have I applied the
For the
independent
CIFA
on here?
test, you must hold the CIFA pedal down for 35 seconds. After 30 seconds, the visual CIFA indicator should come on, shortly followed by a CIFA penalty break.
35 seconds. Alright. 7. I think that's 10 seconds. 11, 12. Hopefully it'll just tell me when it's done, because this feels like a while. 35 seconds. Also, why not 30 seconds? That's oddly specific, to be honest. Five more seconds. There we go. Alright. Not even gonna get out of my seat for that one.
Conduct the roll test now. The goal is to ensure no brakes are dragging. Release all brakes, apply a slight amount of power, roll a few meters without any power applied, then come to a stop with a noticeable jerk.
Alright. Tiny bit of power. And I don't know how much a medium braking force is.
That concludes all the loco startup
Alright.
and test steps. Let us pretend we're about to start a shunting or train move to practice inputting train data. Start out by entering the train number and your unique driver
train
ID
data.
in the MTD.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I just put in any number? I guess so.
And also, register the train number on the GSMR. This allows the signaler to functionally address and call you by your train number. In the MTD again, you need to input the train data used by AFB, PZB and LZB. Without this data entry, you would be stuck in PZB mode U. Open the ZDE page as indicated. The manual features more details on the topic of train data and how it's calculated. It also features a train data sheet including known train data for a single loco,
data sheet's
which
still
applies
there.
to us right now.
Alright. Bit of a process to do.
Good job. That concludes this training module. In this training module, we'll be
this is
discussing
cool.
how to enable
I'm in
and
a
disable
classroom.
the safety systems on the BIA
Man, I just
145
graduated. I
Expert
want to be
in order
back
to
in
customize
school.
the gameplay experience to your playstyle. We're starting out in a classroom today to look at how the expert mode game settings affect the safety systems. The expert mode setting can be
This is
found in
really
the
cool,
player
though.
assist category and can be either on or off. If the expert mode is set to on, the following defaults will change. Default simulation on expert vehicles will be enabled. Train data entry needs to be done manually, and, relevant to this module, CIFA, PZB and LZB are enabled. If you change this setting while already driving, it will not take effect until starting a new service. If you want to, feel free to adjust the expert mode setting now.
I think I already have it enabled.
Before going out to the loco, you need to be able to differentiate between disabling and isolating a safety system. So far, only disabling has been mentioned. Isolating only logically stops the safety system from performing its normal duties, but it remains in charge of its own brake actuation assembly and may even continue to provide very limited monitoring. For example, if the PZB is isolated with the PZB isolation switch, it will still trigger penalty brake if a speed of 100 km/h is surpassed, and still causes the 1000 Hz indicator to flash. Once you are ready to be shown how to enable and disable the safety systems on the loco, stand up from your seat.
I just fell
Welcome to
through
the
the
loco.
floor.
This one has all the safety systems disabled currently, disregarding your expert mode setting. Start out by entering the machine room.
Alright, let's do this.
You're now standing in between the LSS panels and the pneumatics rack. From here, you'll receive on-screen guidance on how to enable CIFA and the PZB LZB.
Bit
Good job.
complicated.
Next up, use the three switches shown to isolate CIFA, PZB and LZB. Please unisolate all three safety systems again so the next driver of this loco doesn't get confused. Now, please disable CIFA and PZB LZB. The procedure is the same as when enabling, but in reverse order.
Maybe it's not that bad. So, gotta get this switch over here. Got it out. So many different switches.
That's all there is to this training module. Well done.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna remember all of this.
In this training module, you'll learn how to deal with fault messages on the left-hand MTD display on a general basis.
Störung, Störung. Störung.
The Störung voice alert and the flashing yellow box on the display are indicative of a new fault which just occurred. Open the fault overview page with the ST button.
Alright. ST.
The cab 1 driver's side wiper circuit breaker has popped, it says. This page lists all currently active faults with their current state and time, an abbreviation for the system and subsystem the fault occurred in, the fault code, this fault's acknowledgement state, and a human readable title. Every fault has two fault resolution texts attached to it, accessed via the V bigger than 0 and V equals to 0 buttons next to the SD button respectively. The V bigger than 0 button has fault resolution help tailored to a train in motion and also features a bigger font for easier readability. The V equals 0 button's text is often not useful while in motion, as the driver must remain seated while driving and should concentrate on driving duties as much as possible. As we are standing still right now, consult the V equal. It's simply asking us to try and close the circuit breaker again. Close the V equals 0 page with the C button again
Oh,
first,
that's
please.
interesting.
As you can see in the fault overview, in the A column a little star has now appeared, indicating that this fault has been acknowledged. This turns the previously flashing ST box into a solid yellow and stops the repeating Störung call out every 30 seconds. This makes it easier to notice a new incoming fault too. A new fault will cause a voice alert and the flashing yellow box again. If you acknowledged the fault while moving before and could not resolve it while in motion, don't forget to check the V equals 0 again after you've come to a stop. Please stand up and attempt to close the circuit breaker listed in the resolution text now, then return to the driver's seat.
Oh, it's right here. I was expecting I have to go into the engine room.
Great, you managed to close the circuit breaker. Yet, the fault's still listed in the fault overview. This might be confusing, but it's by design. As long as you leave the fault overview open, the list contents won't change as faults appear and disappear. If you press the ST or enter
There we
button,
go.
the list will be updated.
I already did that. Way
And
ahead
the
of you,
fault's
game.
gone. Good job. In this training module, we will be learning what needs to be done before taking off with the freight train that you have just taken over. This will include the brake tests
These are
and
definitely some new
inspections
freight
done
cars.
on the freight consist. First,
Got
we'll
some
take a moment to figure out our
TOFC
brake mode
cars.
configuration. This doesn't need to be done now necessarily, it could also be done after the brake test, but you'll see why it's better now shortly. In simplified terms, the brake mode modifies the application speed of brakes, so they apply more evenly and smoothly through long trains, but still as rapidly as safely possible. This innovation from the 1910s avoids excessive forces on the couplers and cars running into each other. By default, all vehicles shall have the brake mode G. If we are at or below 800 tons of weight in the wagon train, excluding locos, all brakes, including the locos, may be set to P. Above 800 tons, all leading locos must be in G. Above 1200 tons, the first 5 cars additionally must also be in G. Our train weighs slightly more than 1200 tons. Thus, you can already start out by setting the loco's brake mode to G. To secure the loco before starting the brake test, please apply the parking brake.
Alright, this is gonna get a
Now,
bit
fill the brake
complicated.
pipe again. Please note that if your consist
I don't know what that was saying. If your con has finished.
please check that the brakes are released on the first car now. Walk up to the first bogie behind the locus coupler. There are two ways to confirm the brake shoe's application state. Either kick the brake shoe and listen, or watch for movement like this.
Kick it.
Or
That
hit
is
the wheel
cool.
with the hammer and listen for a bright long ring. Please return to the driver's seat now. You will now check for leaks. Lock the driver's brake valve by moving the reverser to M, and make sure the brake pipe pressure does not drop by more than 0.5 bars over a 1 minute window.
Alright, got some time to wait. Can you hit the brake shoes on the locomotive too? Doesn't seem like you can. I can't even see where they are. Does this thing even have brake shoes? Doesn't ring as long now.
Perfect. Please return the reverser to the forward position.
Alright. So.
Now apply the brakes. A reduction of 0.8 bars of brake pipe pressure is recommended. It is now required that you walk along one side of the entire train and check that all the brakes on all bogies are applied. If it's below 2
Storage
degrees
box,
Celsius, you should even check every brake shoe. We'll walk along the right hand side in this training module. This is a matter of taste, but if you check that the handbrakes are fully released while the brakes are still applied and you find an applied handbrake, you can simply release the handbrake and only need to re-kick the brake pad or re-hit it with a hammer. If you were to find an applied handbrake during a later walk, where we check all the brakes released, you would have to return to the loco and reapply the brakes after releasing the handbrake. So besides the handbrakes, you should also use this walk as a chance to inspect the couplers, angle cocks, distributor cutoffs and the wagon's load visually. Also keep an eye out for any general irregularities like out of place wheel chocks. Please check that the brakes
Oh, I thought we were
released
going
on
on
the
the
first
other
car
side.
now. Walk up to the first bogie behind the locomotive.
It's not the right side of the train. Well, I guess it depends on what direction you're facing. Alright, it's pretty straightforward. You just have to do this for every single car, I guess. Alright. Just gonna move my camera around, get through this kind of quick. It's a bit of a long train. I mean, long for European standards. At least this isn't an American train. I'd be here for like an hour. Did they? Oh, that's cool. Actually got like somewhat of a license plate on there.
Evidently, this is a very repetitive.
Alright, thank God.
Skip ahead to the last wagon pair for this training module.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the more monotonous parts of being a train engineer.
Looks like the ZG2, the end of train signal board, is actually missing. Please insert one. And now, return to the loco to release the brakes for the second run down the train.
Alright, got a bit of a walk to get there. Oh yeah, I forgot I can just do that. Controls arrow my way back.
Now, it's time to walk down the opposite side of the train. This time, checking if the brakes have released. The same 2 degrees Celsius rule as before still applies. The couplers, angle cocks and distributor cutoffs do not need to be inspected a second time. Still, look out for general irregularities and issues with the load you may have missed from the other side. Also, this time you should correct incorrect brake mode settings. If you recall from the very start of the training module, we discussed the brake mode setting. This train is heavier than 1,200 tons, and thus the first 5 wagons need to be set to brake mode G with the rest in P. An articulated wagon with 2 distributors counts as 2 wagons, but if one of the distributors is set to G, the other one needs to be 2.
Alright.
This is not applicable to these wagons, but if empty load levers were present, now would be also the time to check those.
Yep, that's definitely released. Alright, at least this time it's a bit quicker. Since... What? I did set that. But that is very impressive how in-depth this locomotive and wagons are. I guess this serves as a
From now
since
on, the remaining brake valves must be set to P instead of G.
I guess since I am in the midst of a Derail Valley Let's Play as well, this is like my lesson to make sure I do things properly and not have a disaster waiting to happen.
Evidently, this is a very repetitive task. Wagon pair for this training module. Good job. That concludes this training module.
Okay, I got no time to explain, but I gotta get this train set up immediately because we are on a very tight schedule to input all this train data.
Störung. Störung.
Alright. I hope I'm doing this right.
Störung. Störung.
Oh, I still gotta unlock the doors. Oops.
Störung.
Alright, that's train data.
Störung. Störung.
Let's see. Do we already have a fault? I just started the service.
AFB.
Now, we are doing a passenger service. I did a lot of debating off screen if I was going to do a scenario or a timetable. I decided on a timetable. However, I could not figure out how to get the passenger board to work, so we're just not going to deal with that. Main circuit breaker. Gotta close that, I guess.
Störung, Störung, Störung.
We got a fault, it seems like. Journeys. Alright. Maybe I just need to release the independent? If fault-free journeys so trip the main circuit. Alright. I think that's just because we were setting the brake, so we might be good. I don't know. Take our chances, I guess.
Sehr geehrte Reisende, herzlich willkommen im Zug S1 nach Schandau. Wir wünschen Ihnen eine angenehme Reise. Nächste Station, Meißen Altstadt. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
Uh-oh. I guess it's still yelling at me. I guess I did something wrong. I'll deal with it at the next stop. Yeah, I just can't get the destination board to work. It's really confusing, and they do not give you enough time to prepare.
Zugbeeinflussung, Zugbeeinflussung. SIFA,
But should try and get a screenshot in. The Meissen branch is pretty cool. Oh, I think I still have to input. Do I still have to input my ID here? I don't remember half the controls. Just put a bunch of ones, I guess. I don't know why it's flashing. Oh, God. I panicked and threw it into emergency. That was probably a stupid idea.
SIFA,
Kühlfreigabe, Kühlfreigabe, Kühlfreigabe.
Alright, trip the main, switch to defective using the... Alright, I don't really have time for this. I'm just going to, hope nothing wrong happens. Take my chances, because I got places to be.
Wir wünschen Ihnen eine
I do really like how they include both the passenger and freight variant of this locomotive. Just adds so much more playability to it. I do feel like the tutorials could be a bit better at times.
SIFA,
Like, there should be a tutorial for putting in the passenger board properly. But I guess they have enough that you can drive normally. And I also like how it works fine with other pre-existing rolling stock.
Fahrtrichtung links.
And it substitutes into other routes better than the 101. And the biggest thing, too, is the fact that the screens you can translate to English. running a bit late. So definitely I would say this is very much a step up from the Expert 101.
SIFA, SIFA,
Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe.
Alright. Wonder what... Can I full throttle this train? Let's see. Full throttle without wheel slip. Seems like it. Acceleration could definitely be a bit better. Alright. Finally got some time to breathe and appreciate the locomotive.
SIFA,
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I tried my best to get the destination board to work, but I was going by the manual, but every code I put in, it just wouldn't work for some reason. Like I said before, it is nice to have a different locomotive for an Expert locomotive. Even if it is very similar to ones we've already have, it's still slightly different. I do wish with the Expert, like with the Expert trains, it's just you barely have enough time to put in all the train data and whatnot. Between brake data and the passenger boards, I do wish there was like, you could have Expert mode on, but have all that stuff put in. Like, I still want to have all the faults enabled. I still want to have all the safety systems on by default. But it's just the train data is a bit too much of a pain in the ass unless they gave you extra time to put it all in. I thought there were like extra rails on this side. I think it's just the shading being weird.
Nächste Station, Neuss-Konnewitz. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung rechts.
I don't know why the dynamic isn't connecting up with the automatic. Doesn't matter that much. What would be useful if there's a way, if you could choose, like, when you're starting a service, like, if you want extra time to set things up, it would probably mess with the way the game's timetable system works. Ooh, that was like a perfect stop. But it would be useful. Now, this is, let's see. Leipzig still looks kind of quiet. They, I guess it's a bit better now. They added a new timetable that, it has some extra services. Most notably has the Expert 101 on it now. Although this locomotive, the 145, runs on both timetables. And Leipzig always felt way too empty, so I'm hoping they add some more services to it. It's definitely missing a bunch. Yeah, the acceleration's a little slow. Still kind of feels like a freight locomotive, even though this is a passenger version.
Zugbeeinflussung.
All right.
Zugbeeinflussung. 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 SIFA. SIFA.
Yeah, I don't know how it expects me to be there at 7:29 when I'm over 2 kilometers away. I don't think I was running that late.
SIFA. SIFA. SIFA.
All right. Yeah, I don't know how I lost so much time.
SIFA. SIFA.
Nächste Station,
SIFA, SIFA,
Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe.
Alright. There we go. Wow, another perfect stop. Well, it's almost perfect, aside from the fact that I'm 2 minutes late. Could be worse, though. Maybe I shouldn't apply throttle as quickly, kind of just slowly increase. It doesn't seem to be making much of a difference.
Sehr geehrte Reisende, herzlich willkommen im
I should probably check and make sure I'm in passenger braking. That would be smart to do. Which I'm not. Oh. Well, no wonder why I'm going so slow. Hopefully I don't have to reset the brake data now. Yeah, no wonder why it's handling like a freight train. The brakes are in freight train mode. I still feel like I might have done something wrong with the train data, because I feel like we could be accelerating a lot faster, too. Oh, well.
SIFA, SIFA,
I think I just saw a train go that way. Yes, I did.
SIFA, SIFA,
Station Radebeul Zitzschewig. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
Guess that bridge took a minute to load in. I also realized, too, there's a fault going on with my brakes, so that might have to deal with it.
Türfreigabe.
Something I don't quite feel like dealing with, but probably should. I don't have much time to deal with it. Alright. Yeah, I'll have time to deal with that. So, just gonna see how this works.
Sehr geehrte Reisende,
Release the
herzlich
brakes a
willkommen
bit
im
faster.
S1 nach Bad
I don't know why hitting the wheels is so much fun. Can't do it with these ones, unfortunately. I feel like I'm accelerating faster now. Am I? Thought I might have been wheel slipping for a bit, but I don't think so.
SIFA. SIFA.
I mean, the brakes seem to be fine. Don't know what's the deal with this slow acceleration. It's gotta be the train data. I think I just put it in wrong.
Nächste Station, Radebeul.
Ooh, they're the new freight cars, so it's nice to know that the old rolling stock is compatible with them, and vice versa. The brakes definitely very effective, that's for sure.
Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe.
Of course, this route does have a very tight timetable, at least with these S-Bahn services. You get like barely any time to stop at stations.
SIFA.
Just enough time to get that med kit over there. And it's already time to leave. Release the brakes now, or start releasing them. As much as I can while the doors are still locked. Still getting used to it. At least just wanted to get another run in it, aside from just the tutorials.
Wir wünschen Ihnen eine angenehme Reise. Nächste Station, Radebeul, Weintraube. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
I mean, I'll get more used to his stuff eventually.
SIFA.
Really gotta drive on the edge here.
Nächste Station, Radebeul, Weintraube. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
SIFA. SIFA.
Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe.
Alright, there we go.
Sehr geehrte Reisende, herzlich willkommen im Zug S1 nach Bad Schandau. Wir wünschen Ihnen eine angenehme Reise. Nächste Station, Radebeul Ost. Ausstieg in
Maybe this train really does accelerate that slow and has trouble keeping up with the schedule.
Sifa,
I'm not sure.
Sifa,
Gotta hit the wheel again.
Nächste Station, Radebeul Ost.
Sifa.
Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
There's the narrow gauge.
Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe.
Sifa,
Alright. That is really cool. They have this narrow gauge line here too. Alright, my delay has jumped up to 4 minutes. Not very ideal. How far away are we?
Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
Oh, I just realized that one passenger car is on this truck. Pretty neat little detail.
Sifa, Sifa,
So, what exactly is the...
Sifa, Sifa,
I'm wondering if maybe power isn't going to that bogey, so at this station, I am gonna try and fix it. Reset the LSS. I don't know what the hell that is.
Nächste Station, Dresden-Trachau. Ausstieg
Sifa.
in Fahrtrichtung links.
Sifa,
I'm already running late, so I have quick turnaround to do.
Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe.
Sifa, Sifa,
Alright. LSS, who knows where that is? Just take a quick peek in the engine room. I don't see it anywhere here. Any of these circuits trip? I don't think so. Oh, wait. Uh-oh.
Störung.
Something happened. Something happened. Things just got interesting. Alright. Alright, close the main circuit breaker. Did I acknowledge the fault? I got more break information over here, too. Alright. I'm just gonna see if that worked. I think that's why we've been accelerating so slowly.
Sehr geehrte
Now I feel like we're accelerating even slower.
Reise. Nächste Station Dresden-Pieschen. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
Yeah, I don't think that fixed it. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to try and get to the end, running late. Yeah, nothing's changed. Did I successfully redo this?
SIFA.
I'll have to double check and make sure that circuit breaker is where it should be.
Nächste Station Dresden-Pieschen. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe.
SIFA. SIFA.
Alright. Hop in the engine room and see. Is it where it should be? Nope, it's still open. What it told me to do? Reset if chirp domain circuit. Yeah, I don't think there's much I can do about it now. I just don't have enough time. But alright, so yeah, there it is a fault. Wonder if I'm holding up any trains. Doesn't seem like it. Is that the... Yeah, that one's far away.
Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
see. ASGAUS.
SIFA. SIFA.
I guess I could try that. What's that beeping sound? Is that coming from my locomotive?
Zugbeeinflussung.
I have no idea where it came from. Must have been from a distant train that had a weird sound glitch. Maybe I'll try at Dresden Neustadt, since that's a pretty big station. Yeah, I guess I'll just try it at this one.
Zwangsbremsung.
Oh, come on.
Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung.
I guess I'm trying it here.
Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung.
Alright.
Zwangsbremsung. 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 Zwangsbremsung.
I guess sometimes these things happen.
Zwangsbremsung. 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 Zwangsbremsung.
Türfreigabe.
Alright, so
Türfreigabe.
trip the main circuit breaker.
Zugbeeinflussung. Störung. Störung.
Alright,
Störung.
and alright. Let's see. Let's see if that works. If I'm doing this correctly. Nah, it still keeps going off. I just don't think it's gonna work.
Störung. Störung.
I'm definitely not restarting the locomotive from the beginning. That's a nightmare.
Störung. Störung. Störung.
Alright. Let's see. Our acceleration is very slow. So I'm hitting my wheels out of anger. Yeah, we're almost 10 minutes late at this point. Don't think we're delaying any trains, though.
SIFA.
Yeah, that last one's still quite a distance behind us.
Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe.
Don't think I'll have time to get that route map, unfortunately. Alright. Yeah, not doing well. Oh, 10 minutes late.
Bahn Schandau. Abfahrt 7:47 Uhr.
says 4 minutes, but it's a lot worse than that. And there's a bit of a hill going up, so it'll struggle.
Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
Yeah, I feel like we're starting to make even less power now. But maybe I'm just going crazy at this point. Alright, at least we got a bit of a downhill so we can pick up some speed. But I think it is gonna end up going uphill again after. Yeah, it definitely is. Come on. Almost there.
SIFA.
Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe.
SIFA. SIFA.
Gleis 2 steht S1 nach Bad Schandau. Abfahrt
Still says 4
7:50
minutes.
Uhr.
Alright, only got 3 more stations to go. Of course, this had to happen on a very frequent start-stop service.
Nächste Station Dresden Mitte.
I don't know why it brings you so much joy hitting the wheels, but it does.
SIFA. SIFA.
Alright, I guess I could be doing worse for my first run. Yeah. It really wants me to completely restart the locomotive. I mean, maybe I'm thinking that's more intense than it really is. Like, in my mind, that seems like resetting every single switch and breaker, but maybe I only have to, like lower the pantograph and reset the reverser or something. Might not be as bad as I'm thinking.
Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
guess, I mean, I am almost there, but I guess I could try just lowering the pantograph, resetting the reverser, and seeing what happens. Why won't it? It's not letting me. Forget it. It's not letting me mess around with the reverser. And I think it was doing this since the beginning of the service, too.
Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
It looks like this yard has some more stuff in it, too. Unfortunately, this yard is still pretty much empty. I don't know why.
SIFA.
Like,
SIFA.
it seems like some trains do depot moves from there, so it should be getting some use. I haven't seen another 145 yet, though. Where's this one coming from? Maybe it's for performance reasons. Maybe it just can't handle it.
Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
Looks like we got a diesel over there. Where's it heading to? Somewhere.
Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe.
SIFA. SIFA.
Last station. And we're only running like 10 minutes late. Hit the wheels again, frustration.
Herzlich willkommen im Zug S1 nach Bad.
I feel like the acceleration's only getting worse and worse. But maybe that's just me going crazy.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Are you kidding me? I acknowledged that on time. I acknowledged that on time. Screw you.
Zwangsbremsung. 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 Störung. Störung. Störung.
As if we couldn't be running any more late. Come on. Release. don't think I need to overcharge the brakes. Just need to release them. I can't release fast enough. Alright, finally they're releasing. Now we're gonna be like 12 minutes late. Oh boy, this is going terribly.
SIFA.
Even Dresden feels a bit busier. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Nächste Station Dresden Hauptbahnhof. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
SIFA. SIFA. Zugbeeinflussung.
What's this train over here? Definitely got a custom livery on it. 185. Shouldn't be getting too distracted.
Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe.
Yeah, I haven't seen our 145 at all. Yeah, 13 minutes late. Not doing so well.
Gleis 13 steht S1 nach Bad Schandau.
Yeah, 10
Abfahrt
minutes.
7:59 Uhr.
We got over here. There's a 101. Is it an expert? Can't really tell. It should be. It's the expert timetable. I'm just going to assume it is. Oh yeah, it definitely is. You can open the engine room. Same with this one, right? Oh, that's a one. Oh, that is a 145. There we go. Finally, another one. I mean, I think they did say there weren't too many built. Like 200, maybe. All right, there we go. Whew, that run was a doozy. Yeah, took a bit longer than it was supposed to. So, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.